And good morning, everyone, and welcome to Dordt University. Specifically, we are on the Defender Cross Country course. We are in the soccer press box. That is Control Room Central, and where we are broadcasting from. And thank you for joining us for Saturday morning cross country. This is the second home meet of the season for the Defenders. Dordt opened their season back at the Sunflower Open. And this is meet number 2, much larger meet this morning. There are 17 women's teams and 16 men. Those are full teams, and approximately 600 athletes between the two races are competing today. And a unique feature is earlier this week we added a race. So there are 4 races this morning rather than just the one women and the one men's race because of the number of runners competing. We have 2 races. There is a gold division race for the women, followed by the gold division for the men. And then we'll follow up with a black division for both the women and men. The gold division, teams can elect up to 10 runners to compete in that first race, the gold division race. I guess you could kind of think of it like a varsity JV type setting today. But because of the number of entries, we'll have 4 races for you. The first one coming up at 10 a.m. That will be the women's 6K. The first race that was on our course was a 5K for the women, so this will be a full 6K, and that is the race that these runners will do in the postseason. Dordt has competed in a 6K race already, some of them at the Roy Griak invite, some at the Briarcliff invite last weekend, and so they have one 6K race under their belt. This Dordt cross-country course was first meet was back in 2017. Back on September 9 was the first ever meet hosted at this course. And Dordt has hosted on this course the GPAC Championship both in 2017 and 2019, and it's expanded. In fact, there's several high school races here at this facility. In fact, there's one Tuesday, and I think a couple of postseason races as well for high school. So it's in good shape. The Dordt Prairie out in the background, you'll see that, and we'll have live video coverage on the Dordt Media Network. Thank you for joining us there. And Dordt, this is meet number 4 for the regular season for the Defenders. This is the first time that really Dordt is competing as a full team because of injuries and some by design. Like at the Griak invite, it was just veterans. No freshmen competed up at Griak. And then last weekend, all the runners that competed at Griak did not run at Briarcliff. Rather, it was the freshmen and a few upperclassmen as well at Briarcliff. So we're going to get our first experience at a full women's team race. The men kind of in the same boat as well. We'll see what these two teams can do today. The Dordt women coming in ranked 9th in the NAI. They've been as high as 8th, while the men, they started the year ranked 17th, and they have fallen to 25th. Not sure why, but we'll talk about that as the men's race gets underway. But we'll focus our thoughts and about the women's race after a 2-minute timeout. Thank you for joining us once again. Defender Cross Country coming up on the Dordt Media Network.
This is Alex with Outdoor Elements. We've been the region's premier landscape company for over 15 years. With our own in-house landscape designer, we create extraordinary outdoor spaces where you will make memories with family and friends. We do all types of landscaping, and we're the region's only certified pool professionals. We specialize in saltwater pools, which are easy to maintain and gentle on your skin. Check out our website at OutdoorElementsInc.com. We make your landscape as beautiful as your home. When you want the best, contact us at 712-476-5299 or email us at info@OutdoorElementsInc.com.
Today's broadcast brought to you by 712 Nutrition. Transform your health and wellness with 712 Nutrition. Stop in today for healthy, delicious protein shakes bundled with a supportive community. Start feeling your best today.
Find furniture, mattresses, flooring, paint, and window treatments at your local Furniture Mart. They are family-owned and located in downtown Sioux Center. German Farmers Mutual, protecting the farm and home since 1891. Northwest Iowa's local insurance partner. Online at GermanFarmers.com.
Today's broadcast brought to you by Ployne Publishing, quality printing from design to delivery.
The Grain House, located in Hall, Iowa, bringing you amazing coffee, energy drinks, breakfast, lunch, and so much more. A big city feel, only 10 minutes away from Sioux Center, with a second location opening soon in Sanborn.
Today's broadcast brought to you by Huber's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning of Orange City. Whether you're looking for repairs, replacement, or maintenance for your air conditioning or heating system, Huber's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning of Orange City will exceed your expectation.
In the Dome, we have a space available for 2 full-size softball fields. However, this space is also utilized by the football, baseball, and soccer teams, as well as for other various athletic events. Another great thing about the American State Bank Sports Complex is that it's not just for Dordt athletes. It's for the entire community, whether that's high school soccer leagues, open turf time, or even a space for intramurals. Hope you stop by soon.
Today's broadcast brought to you by Cruz & Cruz, PC, certified public accountants, offices in Sioux Center and Lars. Helping you attain your financial goals is their commitment. Today's broadcast brought to you by Joyner and Dordt Dentistry, providing implants, dentures, and dental care for your whole family in a modern and friendly atmosphere. Today's broadcast brought to you by Skibout Window and Door, your local window experts. Whether you're building or replacing, Skibout Window and Door has the products, people, and knowledge to get the job done right. See Skibout and see the difference.
Welcome back to the Defender Cross Country course, site of the Holiday Inn Express Classic. We have 4 races on tap this morning. We'll start with the Women's Gold Division 6K race, followed by the Men's Gold Division 8K, and then we'll revert back to the Women's Black Division, and then followed by the Men's Black Division. Let's preview the Women's 6K race coming up at 10 a.m. We have 17 teams competing on the women's side, and in the 2 races combined, close to 300 athletes. We'll see what the official number is. There are always late scratches and whatnot, but I'd like to just take some time to preview Dordt University. Then we'll take another break and we'll preview the competition. But we'll talk about Dordt University under head coach Nate Wolf in his 11th season as the Defender head cross-country coach. He's been the head of the program since 2015. 9-time GPAC Coach of the Year on the women's side. 8-time conference champion. 5-time regional coach of the year. A very proud and successful Defender cross-country program, both on the women and the men. And we'll talk about the men later on before the first race there. Today we'll have 41 runners competing, Dordt will, in the 2 races. They will field 10 runners in the first race, and everyone else will be in the second race. This is a Dordt women's team that began the year ranked 9th. That is where they are at now. They moved up to 8th briefly, but then fell back to 9th. In terms of meets this year, they won the Sunflower Open, which was hosted on this same course, first of 7 teams. Then they went up to GRIAC. Did not compete as a full team. They did not run with their freshmen. But Dordt, an outstanding finish there, 5th out of 24 teams, best ever finish for the Defenders. And they had one runner up on the podium. Hannah Tong finished up on the podium, a top 20 finish for her. And then last weekend, Briarcliff Invite, again, not competing as a full team, but Dordt was the top NAI team behind Creighton and USD. They finished 3rd out of 10 teams. So outstanding start to this season. This is meet number 4. We'll have one more meet. That is the Mount Marty Invite coming on October 23. And then postseason begins with the running of the GPAC Championship on November 8 down at Mahoney State Park near Ashland, Nebraska. Same site it was last year. And then Nationals is in Tallahassee. It was back there in 2022. And Dordt ran on that course. It's a beautiful course down there in Tallahassee, Florida. That is coming up on November 21. So hopefully qualifying at that. Dordt coming off the GPAC championship last year and a national qualifying appearance. They have several runners back from last year. and pretty much a loaded roster. And some of the key returners, Corinne Brown, the GPAC Runner of the Year, returns. And she was first-team All-Conference. She won the GPAC meet last year. Other top returners, J.C. Burtis, All-Conference. She was fourth a year ago. Her sister Jenny was All-Conference, sixth a year ago. Also back is Courtney Joyner, a senior. She was 10th a year ago. Jada Kerner was 14th a year ago. All of these athletes were All-Conference. Two seniors, Molly Holstein. She's married, was Molly Mulder, now Molly Holstein, a two-time All-Conference. Jessica Upfer, two-time All-Conference. Isabella Webb, two-time All-Conference. She was the runner-up to Brown last year. And Hannah Tong was an All-Conference runner. So they have 9 returning All-Conference runners from last year. Just a loaded roster. And if you want to talk about success, Dordt, they have a nice streak going. They have been ranked in the top 25 in every poll since 2011. In fact, that is 99 consecutive polls, the longest current streak in the NAI. In those 99 consecutive weeks, they have been ranked in the top 10 69 times. We talked about a program of success. This is a Defender program that definitely has that. And there's several talented freshmen as well. One of those, Joy Cool, she was named GPAC Runner of the Week the first week of the season after she took first at the Sunflower Open, and her teammate Hannah Tong also has been named GPAC Runner of the Week for her performance up at Roy Griak. It's a little bit about Dordt University and how their season is going. We'll take another break. We'll come back and talk about the competition on the women's side. We'll be doing that right after this short timeout.
Hello, Dordt University sports fans. Hope you're enjoying the game, whether you're a family or friend of a team member or a fan of the university. These players and coaches have put in hours and hours of practice, and it shows. There's one more thing that every coach makes sure the team has for each game, and that's a game plan. And no matter the outcome of the game, there's tremendous value and growth in working together as a team to execute that game plan. What about you? Do you have a game plan for your financial life? Or are you so busy with everything else that life throws your way? October is a State Planning Awareness Month. Did you know that over 60% of U.S. adults do not have a will? And for the 40% who do, many of them are very outdated. But with many things regarding finance and law, it's difficult to know where to start, or what your options are, or how it fits with your entire financial game plan. But you don't have to do it alone. For over 40 years, the planning firm here in Sioux Center has been helping households build and execute their financial game plans on all the things more important than money. I'm Tom DeYoung, president of the planning firm. Check us out on the web or social media, or schedule a complimentary Discover meeting to see how a financial game plan might benefit you. We'll help you build your financial game plan on all the things in your life more important than finances, while being a good steward of the resources God has entrusted to your care. And check out our Money Concepts Radio podcast at moneyconceptsradio.com or on your favorite podcast app, where we dive into relevant financial planning topics to bring clarity to the often confusing, ever-changing rules of the game in the financial world. Enjoy the rest of the game, and remember to spend your most valuable resources, your time and your attention, on the things in life that matter more than money. And go Defenders!
Back once again at the Defender Cross Country course, our final break prior to the start of the women's 6K race, the gold division, as the runners doing their final run-outs over at the start line. Talked about Dordt University, how their season has gone. Let's talk about the competition. As I said, there are 17 women's teams competing at this meet. Among those, there are several NAI teams. Let's run down those teams. Bellevue, 21st ranked Benedictine, College of St. Mary, Concordia, Dakota State, Doane, Morningside, and Northwestern. So that's 9 NAI teams, 8 NCAA teams, most of them from the Northern Sun Conference, so they are D2 programs. There is one D1 program, South Dakota State makes the trip. Other teams out of the NCAA, it's Augustana. They're receiving votes in the national poll. Jamestown, formerly of the GPAC. Minnesota State ranked 27th in their respective poll. Minnesota Crookston, University of Sioux Falls, South Dakota State, Southwest Minnesota State, and Wayne State. So of those NCAA teams, all but one, South Dakota State, part of the Northern Sun Conference. A little bit about some of these teams, especially of the NAI teams, and those are the ones of note for Dordt's competition. Bellevue is here. Head coach Craig Christians, part of the Frontier Conference, formerly part of the North Star Conference. They were picked 9th of 11 teams in the preseason poll. Then you have 21st ranked Benedictine of Atchison, Kansas, the Ravens, and head coach Jacob Connolly. They were the runner-up in the Heart of America Conference last year. They were 24th at the national meet last year, and they return a good deal of runners. They have 5 runners that are back from last year. Hannah Ulrich has already been named Runner of the Week, and her teammate Betsy Skendezel, also a Runner of the Week. Catherine Aaron returns, and Emily Nelson, they ran at the national meet last year. Concordia from the Great Plains Athletic Conference, receiving votes in the national poll under head coach Matt Beisel in his 10th season. And they are a contender pretty much every year, not only at the GPAC level, but a national qualifier. Last time they qualified for nationals was 2023. They were picked 4th in the preseason poll, finished 4th at the conference meet last year. They're led by Keely Green, who a freshman, 2-time GPAC Runner of the Week already, and she has the top 6K time in the GPAC right now and is ranked 12th nationally, Keely Green. And she's not alone. Keegan Beisel, all-conference runner, returns for the Concordia Bulldogs, and a very good roster for Concordia. Then you have Dakota State under first-year head coach Alex Glover. They were picked, this is their first year in the Frontier Conference. They were picked 3rd in that conference, formerly of the North Star Athletic Conference. They're receiving votes led by Brooke Beaucaire, who ranks 5th in the Frontier in a 6K. Then you have Doane, part of the Great Plains Athletic Conference, and longtime coach Brad Jenny, 24th season. And he also was an assistant for 3 years. Doane returns nearly their entire lineup from a team that finished 3rd last year at the conference championship. They're led by Ashley McDonald, who has the 5th fastest 5K time in the conference. And it looks like the runners are at the start line, and we're going to get going here. Jamestown, head coach Jarvis Jellin. Got Northwestern and longtime head coach Scott Barkey and his crew. And we are underway. 6K will be 2 laps around, 2 loops around. And the first meet here that Dordt hosted was a 5K. Coach Wolf likes to do that early season meet as a 5K to gear up for the 6K season, and that is what these runners will run in postseason, both at the conference championship and at the national championship. This first stretch probably is the easiest stretch, not only because it's at the beginning, but it's also a long straightaway that's mostly downhill, and they are running away from the soccer press box where we're stationed to broadcast. And the drone footage there, you can see the pack of runners going down that long straightaway. Got the drone footage. We'll also have a couple of cameras out on the course, and we'll toggle back and forth and show you the video of these races. Thank you for joining us once again on the Dordt Media Network. Busy day for Defender Athletics. This gets us started, but pretty much besides this and hockey, those are the only home events as far as I know that memory has. Football on the road in Forest City, over in Waldorf, a 1 p.m. kickoff. Soccer teams, late game times at Hastings. They are going to come back in the middle of the night. I believe it's a 5:30 and 8 o'clock start time for those soccer games. Men first, followed by the women. And then volleyball on the road at Doane. So a busy day for Defender Athletics, a light day at our home facilities. Dordt Media Network will float over to hockey and bring you the coverage there of the Dordt hockey team off to a 7-1 start. They continue to roll under head coach Tyler Morgan. Back to cross country. Now the athletes are making the turn back towards us, towards the north. This is the first uphill climb of this, and they will wind their way back to a point right over I'm pointing like you can't see that, but over by the soccer field, kind of a junction, and then they'll turn back toward the south. It's a 6K, 2 3K loops. The finish line is right over by the start line, just a little bit further down the road. And I can see the runners through the press box window, but also on the drone footage there. Coming in to this meet, as I mentioned, there is a Keely Green from Concordia. In the conference, has the fastest 6K time coming in, two-time GPAC Runner of the Week. She is someone to keep an eye on. Dordt has Joy Kuhl and Jessica Upfer right behind her, ranking second and third. And then Morningside, of course, Courtney Spohr. If you followed GPAC track and field and cross country, you'll recognize that name, Courtney Spohr, a senior. She's had a very good career for the Mustangs. Those are the top four currently in the GPAC. Best I can tell, though, Doane, they have not run a 6K on the women's side. They have several ranked in a 5K, but none in the 6K. So how that plays out today, I am not sure. This is lap number 1 of the women's 6K race. Just shy of 4 minutes have gone by on the women's 6K race. There's a look at the lead cart, and there seems to be one runner way out front, dark jersey. But she is isolated. She is the rabbit. She's out front. Everyone else chasing right now. Now you get to see a second runner a little bit, but there is a front runner, a definite front runner, as they make the turn now towards the west, and they will work back towards us. Arguably the hardest stretch of this course in my estimation. Once they turn back towards the north, there is a long, gradual uphill over there, and the runners are going to have to work, and they get to do that twice. Men get to do it 3 times. Lots of fun there. So there's a look at the front 2 runners. Not sure on the jersey color. It's definitely a dark jersey. Hopefully we can see a bib number. That could help us see a team and then in the bib number, and I can maybe find who it is. But right now, there is a look at the lead runner, and now the turn towards the north. This begins the uphill stretch, one of the more challenging parts of this race. Dordt, one of several teams in the women's field that is ranked. Concordia, Dakota State, Benedictine, all in the national rankings. Again, there is the lead runner on your screen watching from home. Comfortable lead through almost one full lap. Working her way back towards campus. This is the gold division. We had to divide it up into 4 races, 2 women's races, 2 men's races. The gold division has, and the teams can run up to 10 runners. It's actually like a conference meet where you pick your top 10 or top 10 runners designated to be on the quote-unquote varsity, up to 10. And there we go. I think that's Minnesota State. Purple jersey. I think that's Minnesota State. Didn't see the number, but I might be able to come up with it by my notes. The Mavericks. It looked like a Mavericks purple jersey. Could be Amanda Overgrau. She's been a 2-time conference runner of the week. She was the indoor season mile champ. There's some great footage of the pack stationed right in the prairie. There's a bunch of red jerseys. Northwestern, Benedictine as well. They wear the red. It's probably in the back portions of the field. But a good look at the runners, and this is there's a couple of Dordt runners there. Back on the lead runner there, coming back towards us here in the press box, I believe. Minnesota State, fairly confident that that is a Minnesota State runner. Camera shot of runners in the prairie coming back on that uphill stretch. Runners will have 2 full laps again on this 6K. The first lap around, they do have a short little extra loop that they completed. Forgot about that. The 6K, they add that little early on, a little loop at the beginning. The men, it's straight 3 loops on the men's 8K side. So now you see that lead runner. This is the uphill stretch coming back towards campus. And they're the lead runners meeting a lot of the field, the rest of the field. Now they turn toward the west and they'll come back towards campus. In terms of time, just under 9 minutes in this race. For perspective, and I'll refer to the Great Plains Athletic Conference, the GPAC, Keely Green, who has the fastest 6K time in our conference right now from Concordia, it's 22 minutes. And so we are less than halfway through this women's 6K gold division race. Here's that long, gradual uphill coming back towards campus. Building in the background there with all the windows, the fine food facility here on campus, the atrium, formerly of the Commons. I've been there a couple of times. I'm not too intimidated to go there. Just got to avoid the rush. There you see that facility right there with all the windows. That is the fine food establishment on campus. And the lead runner coming back towards us in the soccer press box. Just under halfway now in this women's 6K race. Probably will get a look here because they will come towards the press box area and then down the finish line chute. But she has extended the lead. There was a second runner that was within striking distance, but this lead runner has really opened up a substantial lead with 1 lap to go. And now she's getting to where she'll start her second lap. Here is where they started, or awfully close to it. Past the soccer press box, coming up right here, coming right behind us for the lead runner in this women's 6K race. If our press box had a back window, I'd be waving right now. That is right where we're at. Substantial lead for this lead runner. I'm telling you, it's Minnesota State. Purple jersey. At national meets and conference meets, the runners will wear a chip, and they'll have checkpoints, and you're able to track the progress, and the results will track. There we go. Unable to see the bib number, but I'm confident, 85% confident it's Minnesota State. Just going by uniform type, uniform color. But she has opened up a substantial lead, and she is on lap number 2. She is on the long straightaway that these runners got to enjoy. There's the second runner. If we can stay on that camera view, we might be able to see some gold, hopefully, some gold jerseys. Runner number 3 just went by. There's 4. There's our first gold jersey. Boy, not sure who that was. There's Joy Cool, tall blonde. I can identify her. Jessica Upfer, I think, was there. Almost looked like Addie Liston for Dordt, and that could very well be one of our talented freshmen. She could be out front. But most of the field now is down that home straightaway where these runners started, and they will finish down that home straightaway as well. In terms of time, we are now 13 minutes into this women's 8K race. Bruins, Bellevue. Okay. This just in, the lead runner from Bellevue. Apparently we had some eyes on the course. Okay. So a Bellevue runner is out front. Purple. They are also purple. So Bellevue is in the lead. Look at the home straightaway again on your screen. All of these runners are starting their second lap. And then we will switch our vantage point back to the drone footage. This is on the back side of the course, way far away from us. And the lead runner from Bellevue, I said I was 85% sure. There's always that chance, and the 15% is now. Bellevue with the lead. Looks like maybe 1763, looking at bid numbers. If it is indeed 1763, it could be Grace Steinmetz. But a Bellevue runner is out front. Bellevue with the lead. We'll take a look at the Frontier standings. Yeah, Steinmetz. Bellevue's Grace Steinmetz, 21-33. She leads the Frontier Conference, and that's a very competitive league. So fairly confident that it's Grace Steinmetz out front. She's got a fast 6K time. 21:33 is her fastest time of the season, which is 21:03, so a good deal faster than Keely Green from Concordia coming in. So I think we got it. Freshman from Council Bluffs. Went to Heartland Christian, so Grace Steinmetz. Good work by our staff here. There's Molly Holstein running for the defenders. Steinmetz with the lead. And she is heading downhill, almost at the furthest away point of this course. Steinmetz soon will make the turn to the west and come back towards the north, back to us, and that is where the finish line will be. She's got a lot of work to do, though. There's quite a bit of race left. In terms of time, we're at 16:03, and she's got a time in the 21, so roughly 5 minutes left to go. But look at that lead. I mean, she is isolated. With the drone footage, there is just no runners within sight, really, of her. Steinmetz now with the lead. Steinmetz making the trip back towards campus, towards the soccer press box. This is the uphill. This begins it. Around those trees and around the dirt pile back in the southwest corner of this course. So Steinmetz of Bellevue with the lead. Have to mention that if you are watching from home, you can send me an email at matt.boss, that's matt.bos @dordt.edu. Let us know where you're listening from. We'll give you a shout out. You don't have to be a Defender fan to do this either. We'll give shout outs no matter where you're listening and who you're cheering for. Or even if you're not cheering, just send me an email to say hello. Steinmetz of Bellevue now making the turn. She's back running parallel with the running path. I've run on that many a times. I've run this course many a times. Not a fan. Rather run on the streets. But that's just me. Steinmetz now running back towards campus. This is the biggest hill that these runners will have to climb. Back in the Dordt Prairie. In terms of our time, we're at 18 minutes. So I would say within 3-4 minutes, Steinmetz, if she can hold on, will be crossing the finish line and be the winner of this women's 6K race. You'll be able to see the campus buildings now. That tells you that she's close. Steinmetz for Bellevue out front. Steinmetz with the lead for the Bruins. We will we'll keep track of team standings as well. Those will be updating here shortly once the runners start to come through. Just shy of 19 minutes now. Mentioned that Steinmetz this season in the part of the Frontier Conference has the fastest time by almost a minute in that conference. 21:33 is her time to beat. She ran that at the Gans Creek Classic. The freshman from Bellevue. That was 2 weekends ago. Grace Steinmetz from Bellevue. Steinmetz of Bellevue now approaching the soccer field area. And now the press box area where we are located in. We could give her a high five if we wanted to. That is right where we're stationed. Steinmetz will just have a little bit more to go and then go down the home stretch to the finish line. You can see all the people gathered on the far end of our video screen. She will make the turn to the right. The Rabbit vehicle will turn off here, and Steinmetz will head to the finish line. Just over 20 minutes have gone by. Steinmetz in good position to have a PR here. And there is the runner, Steinmetz of Bellevue. Pretty much a wire-to-wire win from start to finish. What a race for the freshman, Steinmetz of Bellevue. There is Steinmetz. There's the finish line, and we will have a time coming up here shortly, but she will have a PR by almost a minute. Grace Steinmetz. 20:40 is her time. That is a 53-second PR for your winner, Grace Steinmetz of Bellevue. Outstanding race. And also a course record by a lot. We'll talk about that. Course record was held by Dordt sophomore Corinne Brown. She did it last year, 21:52. Steinmetz crushes that, 20:40 for Steinmetz. Then Minnesota State, Ashley Overgao, who I thought that was previously, is second, 21:03. Alexi McDonald. Here comes Joey Kuhl. Joey Kuhl is the first Dordt runner. She is fourth. So Joey Kuhl with a top 5 finish. Another Minnesota State, 2 more Minnesota State. Addie Liston just crossed the finish line for the Defenders in 7th place. See the finish line camera high above the finish line area. I think I'll focus on looking at the live results. Dordt has 2 runners through. Cool in 4th place. Addie Liston, a couple of freshmen. Liston was 7th place. Courtney Spohr of Morningside, another GPAC runner, was 9th. Corinne Brown of Dordt, 15th. Isabella Webb, 16th for Dordt. Hannah Tong, 17th. Addie Crow, 18th. And then J.C. Burtis, 20th. So Dordt has 7 runners in the top 20. You see the strength and the depth of this group. Jessica up for 23rd for Dordt. Molly Holstein, 30th. So Dordt, 9 of their 10 runners in the top 30, 7 in the top 20. And now Courtney Joyner, 38th for the defenders, 22-35 for Joyner. So Dordt has all 10 of their runners in. Incredible job by this defender team. Grace Steinmetz is your winner, followed by a couple of Minnesota State runners, Ashley Overgao and Alexi McDonald. Joy Cool, the top Dordt runner, 4th place finish for Cool. Addie Liston in 7th for Dordt. Another GPAC runner, Courtney Spohr of Morningside, a top 10 finish. And then it's all Dordt from the NEI teams. Dordt finished 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 20th, and 23rd. Not a bad finish by the defenders. We're going to take a short break, and we'll keep the finish line camera out there and let you watch. And you're watching Defender Cross Country, Dordt Media Network. Welcome back to the Defender Cross Country course, the women's 6K gold division wrapping up. We still have some runners crossing the finish line, but it's close to wrapping up. Men's gold division 8K race set to start in about 8 minutes at 10:35. Let's give a recap here. Grace Steinmetz of Bellevue, a freshman for the Bruins, set the course record, crushed it really. 20:40 is Steinmetz's time, and looking at some of my sources, and that is a PR for her as well. She came in with a 21:33, a 20:40 today, so you do the math. Quite a PR for Grace Steinmetz. The freshman is your overall winner. Followed by a couple of Minnesota State runners, Ashley Overgao and Alexia McDonald. First defender to cross the finish line, freshman Joy Cool in fourth place, 21:20 for Cool. And another top 5 finish for her. Taking a look at if that is a PR. She came in with a 22:01, so yeah, big PR for Cool. Then 2 more Minnesota State, Madison Matzik and Melina Sullivan. Then the second Dordt runner, Addie Liston, another freshman, came in 7th place. Liston came in with a PR of 22:39. She crushes it. Over a minute PR, 21:32 for Addie Liston. Next NAI runner to cross, Courtney Spohr, the talented senior from Morningside. She finished 9th overall. Augustana, South Dakota State, Minnesota State, another Augie gal, South Dakota State, and then comes a cluster. Then comes Dordt and their depth showcasing Corinne Brown, a 15th place finish, 21:48. Isabella Webb, 21:49. Hannah Tong, 21:49. Addie Crow, 21:49. That crew separated by less than a second. That is the pack mentality of this crew. J.C. Burtis right behind, 21:57. Then you have Jessica Upfer, 22:02, which is a 30-second season best for Upfer. So that tells you how this Defender crew ran today. Just an outstanding day for the Dordt women's team. We'll see if the team standings are updated as well. They should be. Minnesota State is your team champion, 28 points for Minnesota State. They came in ranked 27th in NCAA Division II. Dordt finished a close second with 59 points, followed by South Dakota State, a D1 program, and Augustana, another team that is ranked nationally in D2, 101. Benedictine of Kansas, ranked 21st in the NAI. They are the closest NAI school to the Defenders. They finished 5th with 190 points. What a day for this Defender women's team. I was excited to see them in full strength, and what a performance by the Dordt women today. Got to give a couple of shout-outs before we switch gears and go to the men's race. Shout out to the great Terry Boss, listening from the comforts of her living room in Orange City, Iowa. Also helping me with spotting some of the numbers and the team members. Tim and Carolyn Bierma, listening from Chicago. Tim was a Dordt cross-country and track alum. Shout out to you. Marlene Tebben also tuning in. Watching. Bethany Tenhaken, of course, is tuning in, former GA for the Defenders, watching from the shore of Crater Lake in Nicaragua. My goodness. You have it rough, Miss Bethany, but thank you for your email. Kind of jealous, but this is kind of fun being here, too. And also, shout out to Samantha Anima. Hey, she graduated last year. Dordt Cross Country and Track alum, and she is watching from her apartment or kitchen in the Iowa City area, and also watching some half marathon results too that a certain Jordan and Krista Grote might be running in Cedar Rapids, but and also cheering on her brother Jackson, who will be running in the men's race. So there's some shout outs to give. Thank you for joining us on the Dordt Media Network. We'll take a quick break. We'll set the stage for the upcoming men's gold division race, the 8K, coming up next.
NewTek is your partner for success when purchasing equipment for construction, manufacturing, agriculture, and other industries. Don't miss the opportunity to transform your business and redefine your productivity standards with NewTek.
And today's live stream broadcast brought to you by Verhoof Automotive. Verhoof Automotive in Sioux Center is your local Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, and Buick dealer. Verhoof Automotive, worth the drive. from anywhere.
How can I join Defender Forever? It's easy. Go to dordt.edu/forever and sign up. You'll not only stay connected with the Dordt community, but also support the future of Defender Nation. Start Forever now. Once you sign up, you will receive exclusive perks, brand new gear, event access, and the latest Dordt news. Be part of something special. Be part of Defender Forever.
Today's Dordt Media Network live stream broadcast is produced by the students of Dordt University.
And brought to you by Pizza Ranch, buffet, carry out, or delivery. Today's broadcast is sponsored by Northside Body Shop. When you expect the very best in the repair of your vehicle, call Northside Body Shop Limited today, serving the Sioux Center area since 1955. 712-722-2313.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by RA Rentals. Looking for top-notch rental equipment for the next project? Look no further than RA Rentals, located in Sioux Center, Spencer, Storm Lake, and Sioux Falls. RA Rentals, your regional equipment rental experts. Today's broadcast brought to you by Snyder Insurance and Financial Group of Sioux Center, offering life, health, Medicare supplements, annuities, and more. Trusted service and exceptional products with you in mind since 1973. Today's broadcast brought to you by 712 Realty, a team of realtors in Northwest Iowa with the drive, care, and results you need to buy or sell your home. Visit them online, 712realty.com, leading you home. This broadcast brought to you by the Ullman Funeral Homes. Chad Ullman.
Welcome back to the Defender Cross Country Course, campus of Dordt University, men's 8K race. Coming up next, it'll start here in about a minute. Just looking at the results, doing a deeper dive, got a lot of PRs for the defenders. You look at Corinne Brown, her time today of 21:48. She was 15th in this race. Broke the course record from last year. Broke it by 4 seconds, and this is a PR for Corinne. Jessica Upfer, she was 23rd today, a senior, 22:02, also a PR for her. So just a great day for this Defender cross-country team. Impressive. And now the men's 8K race set to start. On the men's side, it's a little more simple. It's not like 2 laps plus a loop. It is 3 loops. On this men's 8K race, the record held by Joe Anderson back in 2022 of Dordt. 24:19 is the record. 16 teams on the men's side. It's everybody in the field that the women had, minus College of St. Mary. So you have the NAI teams, of course. You got Bellevue, Benedictine, Concordia, Dakota State, Doane, Dordt, Northwestern, Morningside are your NAI teams. Augustana from the Northern Sun, Minnesota Crookston, you got University of Jamestown, you got Minnesota State, Wayne State, University of Sioux Falls, South Dakota State, Southwest Minnesota State are the teams competing. 16 teams in total on the men's side. Just reflecting on the women's results, how many runners we had in that gold division race, 150 runners. Now keep in mind that we're going to have another women's 6K race as well, so pretty much double that. We will have almost 300 runners in each of these races. Men's 8K, a little bit about the men's field in terms of the GPAC. Porter Bickley of Doane has the fastest time in the GPAC, 25:23. His teammate Michael Grisby of Doane is in third, has the third fastest time. Trey Robertson of Concordia, then another Doane runner, Jaden Wall, then Northwestern freshman Caleb Toffland, who was the GPAC runner of the week this past week, is in sixth. Has the sixth fastest time coming in. The Dordt men come in ranked 25th in the NAIA. Coach Wolf also coaches the men. He's been the head coach of both programs since 2015, so he's in his 11th year. Gave you his honors on the women's side. Let's give you the honors on the men's side. 7-time GPAC Coach of the Year, 4-time Region Coach of the Year. This Defender team has won 7 straight GPAC titles, and they were the national champion back in 2022 down in Tallahassee, Florida. Sounds familiar? Yes, that's where Nationals is this year as well. So Defenders hoping to return to the same place where they won the national title back in 2022. The men's team that won the conference championship, they edged out Doane last year in a very tight race. Like the women, this is a Dordt team that has done very well. They've been ranked in the top 25 in 47 consecutive polls dating back to the 2018 season. Fifth longest streak currently in the NAI. Of those 47 polls, 24 weeks in the top 10. And they have won 7 straight GPAC titles, began in 2018. And that is the matches the conference record for consecutive championships won for this Dordt team. Led by Tage Holstein, 2-time All-Conference. He's been in the top 10 twice. He's coming off an injury, had his first meet last week at Briar Cliff. Levi Landman, a returning All-Conference runner. Luke Swanson, 2-time All-Conference runner, also is back for this Defender team. Dordt, Truman Johnson, earlier this year for his performance at the home meet, the Sunflower Classic, was GPAC Runner of the Week. That was in week 1 for the Defenders. He is a talented sophomore and looks to be part of this team's success. As we go to the men's race, which is underway, this is the men's gold division. We're about 4.5 minutes into this one. And again, we got some eyes out on the course, eyes watching from home, so we'll keep you updated, our best on who's out front. Taking a look at the leaders in the Northern Sun Conference. Jackson Kendall from Minnesota State is competing. He ranks 8th in that conference. 26:06 is his time. Brady Franzen of Wayne State ranks 11th. Keep an eye on him. He's a junior. He's running today from the Northern Sun. Wallace Kigan, another Minnesota State runner. He's in the field. He's in 12th in the Northern Sun Conference. Dordt freshman Stephen Hebert and Hudson Hamilton, a pair of freshmen, they have the fastest 8K times for the Defenders this season. They ran that last week at Briar Cliff. Briar Cliff, notoriously a fast course down in North Sioux City. Running at the Adams Nature Preserve. Hebert 26:04, Hamilton 26:13. Truman Johnson is 12th right now in the league. So you have 3 Dordt runners, 4 if you count Luke Swanson in the top 15 so far in the conference. This is the men's 8K race. 3 laps around. And the runners coming back towards campus. Boy, I talk a while, giving you the preview. But I remembered I didn't give much of a preview for the Dordt men, so I had to do them justice. But there you see the lead runners. Much different from the women. You got a pack of runners up front right now and a number of runners that could win this. Unlike the women's race where there was that just bona fide rabbit out front from Bellevue. She led from start to finish. What a race by Grace Steinmetz. Just shy of 7 minutes in this one. As we gather around the live screen. How close can we get, people, to see the leader? Okay, it's an Augustana. It is a gold jersey. Yeah, that's it. Right there is an Augustana jersey on the screen. Yeah, 1757 for Augie. Peyton Wilbanks. Truman Johnson for Dordt seems to be the leader for the defenders at this point. Looking at the Northern Sun leaders, Augie doesn't have any runners. I wonder if they haven't submitted their times, so that's fun. But the lead group now makes the turn, and they are at where they started, so they have completed one lap. 2 more laps to go on the men's side of the men's 8K. There you see the front of the front runners. Luke Swanson for the defenders, part of that pack, the gold. Augie's in the yellow, correct? Lots of Augustana runners amongst that group. And there is the lead pack, the lead group, right there. This is the downhill stretch. This is where they start the race. Feeling pretty good right now going downhill. This is where even I might be able to hang. Probably not, but no. Downhill. Don't stand a chance uphill. Maybe downhill for 10 meters or so. Just under 9 minutes on this men's race. For perspective, the record in this is 24:19. Top GPAC time right now, 25:23 by Porter Beckley of Doane. Fastest D2 runner in the field, according to what I'm looking at, Minnesota State's Jackson Kendall, which would be 26:02. Which is, the NAI times are faster, which is interesting. Lap number 2 for the men. Just a reminder, we will have 2 more races. We will have another women's race. That's up next, the black division race. $17.57. Peyton Wilbanks was the leader, but someone has overtaken Wilbanks from Augustana as the leader. So Peyton Wilbanks was definitely the leader, the runner for Augustana. But this is got a lot of runners up at the front of the pack. Nothing has been decided, that's for sure. Estimated, looks like there's 15 runners or thereabouts in that pack. There are your 2 leaders. Boy, I'm not sure what jersey that is. A couple of Benedictine and Northwestern runners just went by. There's a Concordia runner on the screen. Concordia. Trey Robertson is the top Concordia runner coming into this meet. All-conference runner. There's Derek Vanderleest, Chase Camp, Isaac Fagan, Levi Landman for the defenders. As they come back in the prairie, the men are on their second lap. Nearing the halfway point, really, of this. Getting close to it. Just shy of 12 minutes gone by on this men's 8K Gold Division race. Joe Anderson with the record, 24:19. we broke the record on the women's side. Congratulations to the Bellevue runner. Grace Steinmetz, just a freshman. What a race for Bellevue's freshman Steinmetz and head coach Craig Christians of the Bruins, making the switch to the Frontier Conference after being part of the North Star. Runners working their way back towards campus now. And the lead cart. This is the uphill stretch coming back towards campus. And again, that front pack, 2 white jerseys up front. 4, 6, 8. That front pack with 9. It's a front pack of 9 and then a little bit of separation. There are 2 teammates here, and we're going to get another look at possibly their jersey and maybe their bib number so we can tell us. We got some sources out there. Dale Johnson of SDSU. So a couple of South Dakota State runners seem to be in the front. Okay, so the white jersey, South Dakota State. Johnson out front, running with a teammate up front. Two SDSU runners, and it looks like an Augie runner, or 2. Separation now. The 2 front runners, about eight in that lead pack as they come back to campus, approaching the soccer field here and the press box area. Dale Johnson from South Dakota State. From the Summit League. Going to pull up their leaders, see what that will tell us. One lap to go. Will Lohr and Dale Johnson are your front runners. 2 runners from South Dakota State and the Summit League. South Dakota State. With the top 2 spots currently. There's Isaac Fagan for Dordt. Chase Camp, I see on the screen. And now they'll toggle back to the leaders, the 2 South Dakota State runners, followed by 2 Augie runners. South Dakota State with the lead. Runners are on their last lap. 16 minutes have gone by. Yeah, Luke Swanson is up there for Dordt. Top 10 probably. But Luke Swanson is the leader right now. And here is a secondary pack, secondary group. It's South Dakota State followed by Augie. 2 runners each for both of those teams out front. Lap number 3 coming up. 17 minutes have gone by, just over. Johnson and Lohr from South Dakota State out front. Got a couple of Augie runners as well. Get out those rosters here. Augustana trying to find their lead runner so far in the Northern Sun. They're the team that hasn't submitted in the what I'm looking at as a source. Your leader is still from South Dakota State, Johnson. Now Will Lohr and Dale Johnson running 1-2. They've kind of traded places a little bit. On the third and final lap. And there is the South Dakota State duo. Augustana still close enough to make a push. 2 South Dakota State runners, 2 Augie runners. And the runners almost at the furthest away point of this race. Got about probably a 2K left at this point. $16 men's teams competing today. Several NAI teams, several from the GPAC. Your non-GPAC NAI teams, Benedictine and Bellevue. And your lead duo from South Dakota State, they've extended the lead now. Augie, they're starting to pull away from the 2 Augustana runners. That's Luke Swanson right there. So Luke Swanson has separated the 2 Augie runners. Looks like Swanson's in 4th place unofficially right now. Swanson running well for the defenders. Swanson, 2-time all-conference for the defenders. From Greenfield, Minnesota, prepped at Fieldhaven Academy. He's got a brother on the team this year, Mark Swanson. He'll be running in the Black Division race as your leaders from South Dakota State. Almost running side by side now, coming back to campus. There are the 2 SDSU runners. This is their 3rd lap. Coming up, this is a long, lengthy uphill part of the course. Coming back towards campus, then they'll make a turn to their right, towards us, towards the east, where the soccer field and then the finish line area comes. SDSU with the lead. Dordt has 10 runners in this gold division. Isaac Fagan, Hudson Hamilton, Stephen Hebert, Tage Holstein, Truman Johnson, Chase Camp, Levi Landman, Trace Obink, Luke Swanson, and Derek Vanderleest, all part of this Gold Division race. Will Lohr and Dale Johnson running 1-2 for South Dakota State. And your runners coming back towards the soccer field now. Final 1K left in this 8K race. Looking at a time right now, 22:28. Record is 24:19. Looks like we have a definite front runner now. South Dakota State, still a white jersey. South Dakota State, as we gather around the screen, 224. In the lead is Dale Johnson. Dale Johnson of South Dakota State with the lead. His teammate, Lohr, running second. Lohr on the screen right there. Then an Augie, and Augie again. So Augie back in third and fourth place right now. It's 2 SDSU and 2 Augie. There's Luke Swanson. Seems to be the first Dordt runner. And your runner from SDSU in the finish line chute. This is Dale Johnson from South Dakota State. Looks to be the winner. Close to a record time, and it is a record time. 24:06, the time for Dale Johnson. Breaks the old record of 24:19. Broke it by 13 seconds, so Dale Johnson has the record. His teammate Will Lohr in second place, 24:20 for Lohr. Then comes Bryant Keller from Augustana, third place. Caden Gruen of Augustana, 24:31. Another South Dakota State runner, Cade Sandvik. Augustana and South Dakota State with 3, both teams with 3 in the top 6. Then comes Dordt's Luke Swanson. Top NAI runner Swanson, 24:44 for Luke Swanson. A big season PR for Luke. Came in with a run of 26:29. So Swanson is the top NAI runner. Caleb Toffland of Northwestern, 24:54. That also is a season best for Toffland, the current GPAC runner of the week. Michael Grigsby of Doane, 24:57. Also a PR. Conditions must be really good today. Then comes Truman Johnson for Dordt, 14th place. Johnson 25:01, so Dordt with a couple runners in, with Swanson and Johnson. Porter Bickley of Doane, Jaden Wall of Doane, Alvin Keeter of Doane. Big PRs for both Truman Johnson and Luke Swanson. See how the team standings, Hudson Hamilton for Dordt, Chase Camp, Stephen Hebert, Hudson Hamilton 30th, Chase Camp 33rd, Stephen Hebert finished 39th for the Defenders. Levi Landman 44th, Derek Vanderleest 46th. Isaac Fagan 49th. Tage Holstein 70th. We'll let the team standings continue to update. We'll take a short break. collect our thoughts, diagnose the results, and we'll come back with more from the Defender Cross Country course in a minute. Back at the Defender Cross Country course, the men's Gold Division 8K wrapping up. On the men's side of things, won by Dale Johnson of South Dakota State, a course record time, 24:06. His teammate Will Lohr was second, followed by a couple of Augie runners, Bryant Keller, Caden Grun. Top Dordt runner, Luke Swanson, a seventh-place finish, 24:44, one of several defenders who had a personal best time today. Swanson's seventh place. Also for Dordt, Truman Johnson was a 14th place finisher. He had a PR, as did Hudson Hamilton, Stephen Hebert, Chase Camp, Trace Obink, Derek Vanderleest, Isaac Fagan. 8 of the 10 Dordt runners ran a PR today, led by Luke Swanson. Take a look at the team standings. Augustana is your winner, 30 points, followed by South Dakota State. 15th ranked Doane was third, 107. Dordt fourth with a team score of 120. Minnesota State fifth, Benedictine sixth, Concordia seventh. So Dordt with a fourth place finish on the team standing side, led by Luke Swanson. 8 of your 10 runners run personal best. We're going to take a break and set the stage coming up next for the women's black division 6K race. But before that, we'll have some ads run, and we'll turn it over to the Dordt Media Network.
Dordt is a place where students flourish.
What stands out about Dordt's mission is how they prepare us as students to face a world that is in need of the Word of God.
We are seeking to embody discipleship. What does it mean to faithfully follow Jesus?
When you add up all the Wi-Fi connected devices in your home these days, you'll be surprised at how many there are and how much bandwidth they're using. Do the math. It just may add up to needing faster Wi-Fi. Premier Communications has you covered with reliable internet speeds up to 1 gig. Keep everything connected with Premier Communications. Visit us online at mypremieronline.com or call at 1-800-741-8351. Premier Communications. Looking ahead.
Welcome to Sioux Center, Iowa. Life in the center of everything. Where we connect with friends, coworkers, family, and the great outdoors. knowing that in Sioux Center, you're never far from making the next great memory. And we grow great companies that make cutting-edge breakthroughs to make life better here and around the world. And when it's time to play, we keep friendship, family, and a bright future at the center of everything.
Hey Defender Nation, my name is Darren Kaiser and I'm excited to serve as the new athletic director at Dordt University. Thank you for tuning in to the Dordt Media Network and supporting Defender Athletics. As an athletic department, we are committed to the Defender way. This means we are committed to the Great Commission, developing servant leaders, the academic development of our student athletes, and the pursuit of championships. I'm eager to join with you in supporting our athletes this year. Thank you for watching Defender Athletics on the Dordt Media Network. Go Defenders!
Dordt's program is a little bit unique in that it's entirely online, but one of the unique pieces is that for every learning module in every single class, we have a synchronous class. Students get a chance to know each other, to interact with each other, to learn from each other. That opportunity is really valued by the students that are in the program. I enjoy that. I enjoy teaching those classes and getting to know those students, but also being able to bring in different people's experiences.
Back at the Defender Cross Country course, this is our second women's race of the day, the women's 6K Black Division. Our third of four races earlier today on the women's gold division. Grace Steinmetz, the freshman from Bellevue, a course record time 20:40. Won it by 22 seconds over Ashley Overgao of Minnesota State. Minnesota State finished third as well with Alexia McDonald. Joy Kuhl, the top Dordt runner, she was fourth. And rounding out the top five, Madison Motzik of Minnesota State. Minnesota State with 3 in the top 5, 4 in the top 6 on the women's side, separated by the Bellevue runner Steinmetz and Dordt's Joy Kuhl. Then you go to the men's side, and another course record was run. Dale Johnson of South Dakota State with a course record time. 24:06 was your overall winner. His teammate Will Lohr was second. Bryant Keller of Augie and Caden Gruen of Augie were third and fourth, respectively. South Dakota State Augie had 3 each in the top 6. Top Dordt runner Luke Swanson was 7th. A time of 24:44. Dordt as a team, 8 PRs out of their top 10 runners. Women's 6K. the black division is underway. And again, it's 2 laps plus, and on this plus, they take care of that first. They do a smaller lap at the start. And that is where we are at on this women's 6K race. And again, there are 17 women's teams competing overall today. The field: Augustana, Bellevue, Benedictine, Concordia, Dakota State, Doane, the Defenders, Jamestown, Minnesota State, Minnesota Crookston, Morningside, Northwestern, Sioux Falls, South Dakota State, St. Mary, Southwest Minnesota State, and Wayne State. Good number of both NAI and NCAA programs are competing. In the women's gold race, we had 150 runners. And on the men's side, taking a look at the gold division race, 147. And we'll probably, I would think, probably double those numbers with the running of the black divisions as well. Thank you for joining us on the Dordt Media Network, bringing you cross country on the Defender course. We're running the women's black division. Corinne Brown from Dordt had the record until it was broken this morning by Bellevue's freshman Grace Steinmetz. 20:40 is the record. Ladies coming across the on the south end of the soccer field. They're doing that smaller loop first, and now they're on the straightaway. They don't have to do the whole straightaway. It's about half of it. They're heading down, and now they will have just under 2 laps to go over the entire course. So ladies completing the smaller loop and on this 6K route. Give you the Dordt athletic schedule for today and go down the scores as well. As there you see the lead duo. Looks to be a gold jersey, possibly. Dordt. Along with a darker jersey. I'm going to guess it's dangerous to do this, but I'm going to guess that for Dordt, it might be Elise Zwart out front. Freshman who ran for Boyden Hull Rock Valley. Last night, some results for Defender Athletics. Dordt Volleyball was swept by Hastings. One of the notes on that one, set 2, 34-32. Dordt came up short in set 2. But 34-32, played some extended time. All 3 sets very competitive, 25-23, 34-32, 25-22. Leading the way for the Defenders and head coach Jackie Smith's squad, Lainey Wolfswinkel and Haley Caparis. Both had 9 kills. Taryn Sparts had 7. Other scores, the only other score from last night, hockey team continues to be on a roll. They won 7-2 over Illinois State. They will play that same Illinois State team today as the Defender hockey team continues to roll. Swimming will be in action at the St. Mary Invite. Both the men's and women's swim team in action. Hockey set for a 12:30 start time at the Vernon Ice Arena. Also today is the football team out at Waldorf, a 1 p.m. kickoff. You can hear game coverage on KIHK, the great Mike Biker on the call for that one. Volleyball team will play at Doane today. And the soccer teams, a doubleheader, men's and women's doubleheader at Hastings. And that is your Dordt Athletics lineup. We are just under 7 minutes into this race. And a look at the lead runners. And we have a defender runner running second, and it looked like it was Elise Zwart running for the defenders. Comes some more Dordt runners. Ariel DeYoung, Kayla Lammers I saw go by. There's Hope Tebben. Some Minnesota State runners just on the screen as they're coming back towards. They will still have one more lap to go. They completed the shorter lap first. There's Ellie Yonda, another Dordt runner, a senior for the defenders. This is the black division race on the women's side. In terms of team standings, on the gold division, Minnesota State won it with 28 points. Dordt was second with 59. Next closest NAI team was Benedictine, ranked 21st. Benedictine with 190 points. So Dordt, great showing today. 59 points. They had 7 in the top 20 in that gold division race. About 8.5 minutes have gone by on the black division race. And we had a Dordt runner in second last time that we were able to determine and get a close-up of the runners. And there comes the lead duo. Looks like it's a Dordt runner. Gold jersey. Going to go out on a limb, and I think it's freshman Elise Zwart. Coming back towards campus. Running through the prairie. Uphill portion of the race. Hockey team plays today, 12:30 start time. Kind of a different start time, but it is indeed correct. And we have some people who will be heading that way, covering that one. As the Defender hockey team, really on a roll, playing really well. 7-game win streak. Lost to Waldorf in the opening match of the season, but since then it's been all wins for the Defenders. Jenna Hirsch is out front. Okay. Apologize to Jenna for not correctly identifying. Jenna Hirsch out front for the Defenders. Wrong blonde. Too many blondes. So Jenna Hirsch, the sophomore, leading the Defenders right now. Hirsch, a sophomore from Maple, Wisconsin. Ran at Northwestern High School up north. Hirsch and a fellow runner way out front. Hard to see the rest of the runners. They are out front, much like the gold division race where Bellevue was way out front. This seems like it's a two-runner battle right now. They do have one more lap to go. We'll see how it unfolds as the race progresses. Is it Minnesota State? 2076. Amanda Overgau is wearing that bib number. Ashley Overgao was second in the gold division. This is Amanda Overgao. The Dordt runner in third, too. That's my Elise Ward. So Elise Ward is running third. So Dordt running second and third in this black division race. Amanda Overgao. She's already been a two-time runner of the week in the Northern Sun Conference. National champion in the indoor mile. She has the lead over Jenna Hirsch and Elise Zwart for the defenders. Kayla Lammers on the screen for the defenders. Olivia Kryenbrink also. And there are your top two. Overgao from Minnesota State and Jenna Hirsch from Dordt. Less than one lap to go in terms of time. 13 minutes gone by in this black division race. We will have one more race, the men's black division 8K, coming up next. Set to start at 11:45, and we have been on schedule. We run a tight ship here at Dordt University. No lollygagging going on here. We have plenty of athletic events. Got to get to hockey. 12:30 start time there. Overgao and Hirsch. They have been the front two for the duration of this race. Overgao in front, followed by Hirsch. Jenna Hirsch this season. We'll check out her season PR. If we can find it. If I click on that. Bear with me. We'll just do it this way. $25.16 earlier at Griak. Last year at this race, Jenna ran a 23:13. So that would be her personal best. 23:13. Her season best right now is 25:16 at the very tough Roy Griak invite, where typically the runners don't run a PR. That's a challenging course up there. So we'll keep an eye on that as Jenna and a Minnesota State runner battle it out. Amanda Overgao extending the lead a bit over Hirsch on this final lap. As the athletes now will head towards the road and the back stretch. There's the leader, Overgao, from Minnesota State, running well. Has extended the lead over Hirsch for Dordt as Hirsch runs by the camera. Two runners have gone by. Here comes the next group of runners in this race. Jada Kerner and Elise Zwart. There's Jenny Burtis for Dordt, all in the top 10 right now. And Overgao, Minnesota State, starting to spread out now, extend the lead. This is our third race of the day. Just to recap, Grace Steinmetz, the freshman from Bellevue, a course record. She was the winner in the gold division. 20:40 was her time. On the men's side, Dale Johnson of South Dakota State was your overall winner, 24.06, also a course record. If you're looking at team scores, Minnesota State women, they win it 28 points. Dordt a close second with 59. On the men's side, your team champion, Augustana, edged out South Dakota State to win the team title. 30 points for Augie, 40 for South Dakota State, followed by Doane and Dordt in a close third and fourth. Doane with 107, Dordt with 120 points. 17 and a half minutes have gone by in this second women's race. Olivia Graber for Dordt just ran by on your video screen. Several Augie runners. There's Kreinbrink from Dordt. Doane, and then a Benedictine runner. Couple of Doane runners running together on the final lap of this women's 6K Black Division race. Best of luck to all of our athletic teams on the road today. Football in Waldorf, Forest City for a 1 p.m. kickoff. Soccer teams all the way down in Hastings. Those are night games. Women, it's an 8 o'clock start time. I'm going to have to stay up pretty late just to follow that one to its conclusion. And volleyball with afternoon contest against Doane. And I'm told that the Chicago Cubs are playing tonight in a pivotal Game 5. They are. Those of you who are late night people maybe stayed up to watch the Mariners in a thriller down the Detroit Tigers in a must-win Game 5. I love it when the small market teams do well. At this point, it's anybody but the Dodgers. That's the motto that I live by. Sorry if I've offended anybody, but it's anybody but the Dodgers. I also feel that way about the Yankees, but they're gone. Houston Astros, they're gone. There's your deep thoughts by Matt Boss today. Amanda Overgau is still your leader. Less than a kilometer left in this race. Of course, Monday night, there's a big Monday night football game too. Chicago Bears at the Washington Commanders. Those of you who are a glutton for punishment remember last year's Bears and Commanders game and how that ended up. I know I do. I still have nightmares. I haven't slept well since. But this year it's new. Supposedly, I'm told. And here comes your leader towards the parking area, towards the soccer field. This will be Minnesota State's Amanda Overgau on her way to win the Black Division Women's 6K. Overgau approaching the soccer field in the press box area. Overgau has really pulled away on this final lap. 20:36 right now on the clock. Overgau from Minnesota State. NCAA Division II. Here comes Jenna Hirsch for Dordt in a solid second place. The sophomore for the Defenders running second. That duo has gone 1-2 throughout the race. Hirsch last year on this same course, 23-13. And here comes your leader, Overgau, toward the finish line chute area. Fans cheering her on, checks her watch one last time, and Overgao is going to win it. This women's 6K black division race. Overgao will have her time here, very close. And final steps as she crosses the finish line. Amanda Overgao from Minnesota State is your champion. Time of 21:59. Broke the 22-minute mark. Here comes Jenna Hirsch for Dordt. Second place run for Hirsch. She will have a big PR. Hirsch's time 22:15. Last year she ran 23:13, almost a minute PR. Jada Kerner for Dordt, fifth, 22:26. Jenny Burtis for Dordt, sixth place. Elise Zwart, the freshman, seventh place finish. For Jada, 32nd PR. She ran 22:56 as a freshman, now in her junior year. So Kerner, fifth place finish. Burtis for Dordt, sixth. Elise Zwart, seventh. Olivia Hoagland, all-conference runner last year. She was eighth, 23:04. So the defenders continue to run well. Check on Jenny Burtis. Burtis 22:34. Definitely a season best and a PR career best for Burtis. Zwart also with a personal best. Olivia Hoagland matches her career best. How about that? 23:04. Also ran 23:04 at Doane last year. Elizabeth Hoagland was 10th. Reagan Snyder, 11th for the defenders. Macy Marshall, 13th. Eden Sullivan for Dordt was 15th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9 in the top 15 for the defenders. And just another outstanding day for Dordt cross country. We'll tally the team standings. Right now they're leading, but yet to a lot of runners have yet to finish. We'll take another break, come back with more of the black division race on the women's side in a moment. Final race of the day will be the men's 8,000 meter black division. Final race of 4. Let's recap the most recent event. It was the women's 6,000 meter, the black division. On the team side of things, Dordt wins it with 20 points. All 7 scores or counters in the top 10 for the defenders. Minnesota State was second with 47. Augustana third with 93. Individual results, Amanda Overgao of Minnesota State, 21:59, and it was asked off mic how that time would have compared in the gold division, and we determined that she would have been the 7th runner for Minnesota State and about 22nd overall as an individual. Amanda Overgao wins it. Jenna Hirsch for Dordt, 22:15 was her time, which is a big career best. A couple of South Dakota State runners, Madeline Childs and Lindsay Rotz, was 3rd and 4th. And then 4 Dordt runners followed in 5th through 8th place. Jada Kerner, Jenny Burtis, Elise Swart, and Olivia Hoagland. Hallie Bauer of South Dakota State was 9th. And then one more Dordt runner in the top 10, Elizabeth Hoagland, a freshman, was 10th for the defenders. Just outside the top 10, Reagan Snyder, a freshman for Dordt, was 11th. Macy Marshall, another freshman for Dordt, was 13th. And Eden Sullivan, a sophomore for the defenders, was 15th. So a lot of Dordt defenders there. 6, 7, 8, 9 in the top 15 on the women's side. So a good showing by the defenders once again. In the gold division, Dordt finished 2nd to Minnesota State in the team standings. Men's gold division, Dordt was 4th behind Augie, South Dakota State, and Doane. Dordt with a 4th place finish in the team standings. Here comes the men's 8K black division race. One more race. And we'll tell you once again, the old record was broke. Joe Anderson had the record until this morning, and a new record, Dale Johnson of South Dakota State set the new record today. 24:06 is the new record in the men's 8K version. We are underway as we stay on track, on time. 3 laps around for the men. 16 teams once again, those same 16 teams competing. Check to see how many total runners ran in the women's black division. Right now, it looks like it's 96, if that is complete. Probably should be at this point. So the men's 8K just underway on our final race of the day. Once again, announce that the hockey game will start at 12:30. So less than an hour away, actually, over at the Vernon Ice Arena is the hockey team going for their 8th consecutive win, off to a 7-1 start, ladies and gentlemen, under head coach Tyler Morgan. Great start to the year for a Defender hockey team that qualified for nationals last year. It'll be live on the Dordt Media Network. Football team in Forest City against Waldorf. Dordt moved up in the rankings. They are just outside the top 10 at number 11. Look to stay unbeaten. And following today, the schedule gets difficult. The 5 remaining games, thankfully 3 of them are at home. You got home matchups against Mount Marty and Midland. Then you're on the road at Hastings. Come back for a home game against Concordia, and you'll close the season against Morningside. Tough stretch of games for the Dordt football team, but off to a great start under head coach Joel Penner. Hard to believe, but basketball just around the corner as well. I think less than 2 weeks, both Defender basketball teams will tip off and start their seasons. Looking forward to that, yes. Makes things busy, yes, but are looking forward to watching Defender basketball amongst all the other fall sports, which are winding down. We're progressing over halfway through their respective seasons. Unless if you're hockey and swim, they will wrap up in the next calendar year. So some long seasons there. Men's 8,000 meter. 3 minutes into this 8,000 meter race. Dordt in the 2 races on the men's side. 45 runners total competing. 35 defenders in this second race scheduled to run. Dordt comes in ranked 25th, of course, under head coach Nate Wolf. Assisted by Emily Heinen and Jesse Veenstra. Formerly assisted by Bethany Tenhaken, who continues to watch and tune in from, looks like from the beach in Nicaragua. Dare to dream. That would be a fun place to be right now, Miss Bethany, if you're still watching and tuning in. Hope things are well for you. We miss you here. Don't ever forget about us in Sioux Center, Iowa. Should come back to campus. It's changed a little bit. The rowdy GA office that you were known for is no more. I think it's a storage closet now. So there you go, Bethany. That's for you. I digress. Let's go back to the task at hand. Men's cross country. There's a drone footage of the runners going out to towards East 1st Street. Far away from us right now. This is lap number 1 of 3 laps. Past the old farm place. Back on the south side of this course. There's the lead cart, and you will see the runners follow as they make the turn towards us. Looks like a gold jersey in front. And now they'll start the long uphill stretch. They'll go past this 2 more times. Total of 3 laps. Men's 8K race. Got 4 in the 4 front runners. Lead has switched hands, no longer a gold jersey leading things. Also, you got some unattached runners competing in this black division. I think I saw the list. There's maybe 6 unattached runners competing. They did not compete in the gold. They get to compete in the black. Looks like 7 unattached runners. One of them, Jacob Vanderplots, who is a Dordt alum. And here comes the lead cart. Usually it's Craig Heinen, the Dordt track and field head coach, driving the cart, the lead cart, the rabbit, if you will. I think a Dordt runner is currently in 3rd place, according to the footage that I'm looking at and what you, the viewer, are watching. There are 4 runners front of the pack here as they make their way back towards us and the start line once again, and they'll repeat it 2 more times. Course record was broken this morning on both the women and the men, actually. So we had 2 records set. Bellevue's freshman with a great race in the gold division. And then an SDSU runner. And And there is a look on your screen of the runners as they're making their way back toward the soccer field and the start line once again. Good number of runners there. See some gold jerseys. A couple of Augie. They're wearing the yellow, not to be confused with the Defender gold. There's some red. That could be Northwestern, could be Benedictine. Quite a few red jerseys intermixed with gold. And there is your leader. Your leader going past the start line, starting lap number 2. I think that is an unattached runner. Looking by the jersey, could be Jacob Vanderplatz, but I'm not sure. Making their way down the long downhill at the start. There's the turnoff for the women on that short lap. But the men will all go all the way down to the road as the runners continue to go by. Shout out to this Dordt Media Network crew. It is not easy doing an event like this. Drone footage is awesome. Cameras at the finish line and out in the prairie, kind of in the middle of the race, so we get a couple different vantage points. As your leader makes the turn, running parallel with East First Street, way on the south side of this course. Pretty soon they'll make the right turn back towards campus for a short uphill stretch. Dordt on this course is hosting a high school meet on Tuesday. I believe it is the Siouxland Conference meet. They also hosted a high school meet earlier in the year. Sioux Center hosted a meet here. They might also have one of the districts at this venue as well. This course gets plenty of use, and it's a beautiful course. Good footing, and it's being used well. Built in 2017. First race on this course back in September 9. It's hosted a couple of GPAC championships as well. And there's your lead runner once again. He took the lead. Closing stages of the first lap. It was a pack of 4 up front. One of those, a Dordt runner, was up front. I'm told it was Easton Vandenberg from some of the sources out there, running first for Dordt in this black division race. There's a camera view amongst the prairie, kind of right in the middle of this course. Getting a good look at the runners. Brett Gifford, Jonathan Breams just went by for Dordt. There's Prinz for Dordt just went by. Ezra Landman for the Defenders, a sophomore. Couple of Augie runners. There's Josiah Wittenberg for the Defenders. Justin Cruz, Levi Bird. Looks like Devin Van Zanten also just went by for Dordt. About halfway through this men's race, we're just over 12 minutes into the black division. Again, the men, Dordt men, ranked 25th. They were picked to win the GPAC. They won their 7th straight GPAC championship last year, edged out Doane. Doan picks second, but Doan comes in as the higher-ranked team. And in the Gold Division team standings, Doan outlasted Dordt 107 to 120. Dordt was led by Luke Swanson in the Gold Division. Dale Johnson from SDSU was the overall winner, 24:06, which is a course record. There's a look at the leader. Now a camera shot back on the Prairie Cam, I'm going to call it. Concordia runner just going by, and now back to the front runner. There's a look at the lead runner once again, coming back uphill towards campus. Challenging stretch, and these guys, they have to do it 3 times. Back at the Prairie. Approximately 600 runners set to run here today. 17 women's teams, 16 men's teams. And it looks like most of those teams have runners in both races. So one of the larger meets. If you would run them all, it would definitely have a national championship vibe. But it's split up into a couple of, into 2 races. This course is good, but I don't know if it's set up to host that many runners in one setting. Parts of it are sometimes a little bit narrow. It would be a challenge. It could be done, but that's why they kind of broke it up. Just keep it safe. And a live look again at the leader. This is lap number 2 of the black division. Just hit the 15-minute mark of this men's race. Runners will have 1 more lap to go. And your leader, who took command at about this point on lap number 1. And I think it is an unattached runner in the lead. We have 8 unattached runners scheduled to run, and I think this is one of them. Dordt, one of several GPAC teams here competing today. Concordia, Doan, Dordt, Morningside, Northwestern, Benedictine and Bellevue, some non-GPAC but NAI teams are here as well. And then a host of NCAA institutions. Most from the Northern Sun Conference, which is a D2 conference, do have SDSU from Division I in the Summit League here. And there is the lead cart and your overall leader. 1 more lap to go as he's the lead runner right at the start now. And there is your leader. Yeah, I think that's Jacob Vanderplatz, who is an unattached runner and a Dordt alum. Okay. Running well for the defenders. So Jacob Vanderplatz, we're going to determine that he's leading right now, and he has opened up a pretty substantial lead. On that last drone shot, it didn't look like we could see a second-place runner. It looked like the leader, who I think is Vanderplatz, has really opened up a lead. You can see up behind the lead runner there, Jacob, that long straightaway, and there's just no one on the camera. So Jacob has really opened up a substantial lead here on this, the 3rd and final lap. In terms of time, we're at 17 and a half minutes. Nice fan support. I was going to call them a crowd, and it is a somewhat of a crowd, but spread out over all parts of the course. And your leader makes the turn towards the west along East 1st Street. There's a look at some of the runners coming down the straightaway there. Or actually, they're coming back towards us from that vantage point. Have yet to make the turn south on that straightaway. There's a gold jersey coming up, a couple of them. Making the way back toward the soccer field in the press box area. And your leader makes the turn back towards the north. Slightly uphill, then he'll turn and go back downhill. One final time before he makes the long trip back to the start line. Your leader, Vanderplatz, running unattached. I believe a 2021 grad of Dordt University. Ran multiple seasons for cross country and track. Ran at nationals several times. And I see the lead cart out the window, so Vanderplatz is coming up right at the soccer field, and he'll make the turn to the left and head back towards East 1st Street. And there's a great look at your leader. I think I even saw the number, and I can confirm now whether it's Jacob. It is 1682. Jacob Vanderplatz, running unattached, is your leader currently. There is your second place runner in the black jersey. Runners 3 through 4 and 5 coming up. Runners starting to come by. There's a Concordia runner running the light blue. Augie coming up. Probably have had 7 or 8 go by. And there is a Dordt runner. Brett Gifford. Sam May. There's Jonathan Breams for Dordt. Also there was Jackson Prinz. Brett Gifford was in the mix as well. A couple of Doan runners. And a couple more Augie runners. Back at the lead. It's Vanderplatz as he's making the turn by the old farm place. A couple of the barns back there. Vanderplatz will have a long uphill stretch, and then we'll head to the finish line. Levi Bird for Dordt back on the camera. There's Caden Van Weingarten. He's running for the first time this season for the Defenders. Good to see Caden back out there. National qualifier in track and field. He was out for the first couple of meets and hasn't been able to train in full because of injury, sickness, different things. But it's good to see Caden back out there. Northwestern runner, Doan runner coming by. Minnesota Crookston, there's another Dordt runner. Joshua Don coming by for the Defenders. Lots of red jerseys all of a sudden. Could be Benedictine, could be Northwestern. There's another Dordt runner. In terms of our time, 22:17 is our overall time. Back with the drone coverage, the camera on the leader. Our leader is Jacob Vanderplots in this black division race. 22:39 is the time on the clock. Today, your men's champion in the gold division came in with a time of 24:06. So we'll see how the time in this race holds up with that. Graham Vandevecht was just on the camera through the prairie coming by on his final lap, and here's your leader. Makes the turn, coming back towards us to the soccer field. Jacob Vanderplots, the leader. With our new campus dining building there, the atrium in the background. And there's the chapel. Making look at the finish line camera. Vanderplots moments away, couple of minutes away from finishing. Look at all the cars in the parking lot there running by them. And a look in the background, there's the soccer field, the press box area where we're stationed. Jacob Vanderplot's running well, running strong, took the lead for good on the closing stages of lap number 1. He's increased the lead as this race has progressed. And it looks like Vanderplots has this one in command. There's the second and third place runner a ways back from Vanderplots. 24:34 is your time right now. Approaching the 25-minute mark. And a look in at the finish line. There is the finish line chute. And our lead runner, Jacob Vanderplots, in this division race, approaching the finish line area. There's Vanderplots. Checks his watch one last time, and he is going to win the black division race. What a race by Jacob Vanderplots, an unattached runner. He will win it. We'll give the official time once the live results, courtesy of Dakota Timing, update. He has crossed the finish line. We should have his time. 25:22 for Jacob Vanderplots. Your second place runner has just come by as well. So Vanderplots is your winner of the black division race. As you will see, runners start, and it'll get populated. It'll get busy. Had probably 5 runners finish now. 4 of them are unattached. Vanderplots, Max Salas, then an Augustana runner, Adasu Haverly. A couple of other unattached runners, Seth Cheney and Emil Nelson. Top 8 right now have finished. And there's a couple of Dordt runners coming in. Sam May being one of them. Jamison Velsky, the top Dordt runner, 13th place. Brett Gifford, 14th for the defenders, 26-14, 26-15 for those two. Then comes Sam May, Ethan Weenia, and Caleb Van Beek, Jonathan Breams. 4 more Dordt runners. They have 6 in places 13 through 19. Taking a look at some of those times. We'll process them for you. Velsky's time of 26:14 is a PR for Velsky. Ethan Weenia, 26:22, also a PR. That is the trend. Sam May, 26:22, definitely a season best for Sam May. Caleb Van Beek, time of 27:04. His time today, also a PR, so must be a really great day to run. Lots of PRs in both races for both men and women. Ezra Landman has come in. He finished 20th for the defenders. Jackson Prinz, 26:44 for Jackson Prinz, the freshman. That also is a PR. Devin Van Zanten, 29th for the defenders, 26:45. Checking on that time for Van Zanten, where that stands for Devin. 26:45. I have that as a big PR for Devin as well. He came in previous best 28 minutes. So teams are coming in, runners coming in, crossing the finish line. As is the case, we'll take a quick break and we'll let the runners continue to finish, and then we'll have the updated team standings when we return. Runners continue to cross the finish line here. Men's black division race. Your winner in the black division race, Jacob Vanderplot's an unattached runner, followed by Max Salas. Augustana's Adisu Haverly was third, followed by Seth Cheney and Emil Nelson, a couple of unattached runners. First Dordt runner to cross, Jamison Velsky with a personal best time. He was 13th, 26:14 for Velsky. Brett Gifford, 26:15, was in 14th place. Followed by an Augustana runner, and then 4 or 5 Dordt runners from 16 through 20. Sam May, Ethan Ween, Caleb Van Beek, Jonathan Breams, and Ezra Landman all finished for the defenders. Taking a look at the team standings. Dordt third in the team standings with 63 points. Augustana was second. The unattached team, so to speak, in quotes, scored 18 points. So Augustana wins the team title with 39, followed by Dordt with 63, as runners continue to come in this men's 8K black division race. I'd like to do a quick recap of the day and the 4 races. In our first race, the women's 6K gold division, freshman Grace Steinmetz of Bellevue wins it with a course record time of 20:40. Top Dordt runner Joy Cool finished 4th for the defenders with a time of 21:20, followed by Addie Liston, 21:32. She was 7th place. Team standings for the women's gold, Dordt finished 2nd with 59 points to Minnesota State with 28. To recap the men's 8K gold division, it was won by Dale Johnson of South Dakota State, a course record time of 24:06. Top Dordt runner Luke Swanson, 24:44 for Swanson, which was a PR for him. And on the team side of things, in the men's gold, Augustana wins the title with 30 points, followed by South Dakota State. Doane with 107 was third, followed by Dordt with 120. Women's 6K black, won by Amanda Overgao of Minnesota State, 21:59. Top Dordt runner Jenna Hirsch was second, PR time of 22:15. Followed by a couple of South Dakota State gals, Madeline Childs and Lindsay Rotz. And then 4 Dordt runners, Jada Kerner, Jenny Burtis, Elise Swart, and Olivia Hoagland all finished 5th through 8th. And Elizabeth Hoagland, another Dordt runner, was 10th. And then on the men's 8K black race, Jacob Vanderplatz, the black division. Vanderplatz, your unattached runner, he wins at 25-22, followed by Max Salas. Another unattached runner, Adisu Haverly of Augustana. And the top Dordt finisher, Jamison Velsky, 13th place, time of 26:14, followed by Brett Gifford. 14th place, Sam May. 16th, Ethan Weenia. 17th, Caleb Van Beek. 18th, and Jonathan Breams and Ezra Landman, 19th and 20th. Finish line camera is still focused in on that finish line area chute. Been a great day to run. Overcast skies. Not a lot of wind. And the temperature is probably ideal for the runners. Myself, as a viewer or as a fan, it would have been cold out there for me, but I'm in a press box sheltered from the breeze, so it's been good for me as well. I prefer the warmer temperatures myself, but I think for the runners today, it was a pretty good environment to run, and some outstanding times, a couple of course records set, and plenty of PRs run today here at the Defender Cross Country Course. And so I think that's going to put the finishing touch on this one. We did it. 4 races in what seemed to be pretty busy. But we did it. We're done. And it was a great day to race. And a pleasure to bring you Defender Cross Country. Some outstanding performances. Got to give a shout out to the Dordt Media Network providing the video footage here at the Defender Cross Country course. The drone and the set cameras, the stationary cameras out, and the finish line camera. Just a job well done by the Dordt Media Network. It's going to do it for the broadcast. Thank you for joining us once again. This is Matt Boss signing off, wishing you all a pleasant good day.